Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini. That's them up there. I am Gini. This is my husband, Chris. We do Wednesday night OWCP Chats. We answer all of your federal work injury questions. We get you educated and everything else.
Look at the picture.
Oh boy. So we were able to get a little slideshow going tonight so that you guys could see the stuff that we are talking about tonight.
And it was last minute because 2 minutes ago, it wasn't on the screen.
He was having a panic attack.
And I've had this computer for a long time. It's the first time it ever really disobeyed me.
Yeah.
So we didn't like it.
Hey, Fly Mommy, how are you?
What's up, everyone?
So there'll be certain things that we're going to be showing on here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and share our video. And it's so funny because I didn't get to talk to Chris about this because he was worried about that not being able to be on while we're talking about this tonight. But probably as of next week or next month in June, every time you share our videos, you'll be entered in a chance to get a free book, one of Chris's books, or one of our Federal Injury Centers t-shirt or our Wednesday night OWCP Chats t-shirts. Sure. Oh my gosh. So with that said,
hit the down arrow.
We are going to be talking about, don't forget to like, follow, share. So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is...
Oh, but there's more, but wait.
We're
not used to following a slide presentation.
Yeah.
So listen, this is important that you share it because there's not enough of you that have the information. And so that's why we're so adamant about sharing it. There's just, 2.8 million federal employees. And last year, over 400,000 views of our chats, which was incredibly great. But 400,000 is just a fraction of 2.8 million. So we're trying to reach everybody so that we can get the information out before you need it. And hopefully you learn it before you're injured. Mm-hmm. So like and follow the page, but then hit the share button so it goes to your newsfeed. And people that you're friends with in yours will have an opportunity to see it and also be able to come and watch this. So please just do that. Like and follow this page and the Breaking OWCP page. And share, please. Yeah. Pretty please.
And again, as of June, when we do our Wednesday night chats, once you share, we'll go back in and pick a winner, either to get a free book, Wednesday night OWCP Chats t-shirt, or one of my Federal Injury Centers t-shirt. So make sure you guys are starting to like and follow and sharing so you're on the right track.
Next.
All right. Tonight, what we're
I was originally going to do the slides because I created the thing, but we had to switch.
Oh, I guess we're talking about this slide.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this slide now. So most of you are not on Twitter, and honestly, from the stuff that I see on Twitter, I'm thinking about getting off personally, but the Federal Injury Center's page is going to stay. It is at Fed Injury Center, and the reason you want to be there is because I post important rules, laws, and regulations on how to sort of navigate the OWCP system, avoid the pitfalls, and ultimately, hopefully, get you your claim accepted and get you paid. So go to at Fed Injury Center and follow us on Twitter so that you get the information. I'm not going to waste your time. Sorry, there you can see it. I won't waste your time. I don't post things on there that are not related to OWCP and that are not helpful to you. So please do that. Go to Twitter at Fed Injury Center.
Yeah. So next slide. Fly Mommy, you got your book. Prakash got his book. Don't forget to tell us if you like, what you liked about the book. And don't forget, take a picture of you in the book and post it on the Breaking OWCP page.
Speaking of
the book.
Yeah, so I have this here because I keep getting two questions. I get them every single day. Where can I find the book and how much does it cost? So I thought, well, let me just post it. You can find it at the website that is the title of the book, breakingowcp.com. It's $14.95 and shipping is free. If you buy 20 books, shipping is free. If you buy 100 books, shipping is free. I'm not going to charge for shipping no matter what. So go to breakingowcp.com and you can buy the book there. There's a PDF download and there's a paperback version, which you see here. So I really appreciate everybody that's gotten it so far. I've gotten nice feedback, which is humbling.
Yep.
I keep having people ask me if I'll autograph it, and though I am not famous, I am autographing all of them. So I'm happy to do that, and I really appreciate those of you that have gotten it. So far, we've sold over 220 copies. But again, 2.8 million federal employees. The goal is to get this into everyone's hand. It's like a handbook for what to do, and it's easy to understand, and most people are finishing it in a day.
Yeah.
It's really easy to understand, but once you know what's in there, if you have a certain problem, you can go back and say, okay, I'm going to look at the table of contents. I'll know right where that's at so I can solve this problem. This book is your problem solver, and it's small enough that you can almost keep it, not in a pocket, but you can certainly keep it with you at all times. So, God, if you have a problem, you know what to do.
Tish just said you are famous.
Ah, come on.
Tish,
You're famous.
Tish, I just got your previous timeline post that you posted me, and on AFGE's website, you said there were a few questions. As soon as this is over, we're definitely going to get to those. I'll go ahead and answer those questions.
All right, so go to breakingowcp.com tonight, get your autographed copy, and I'll ship it off tomorrow. Everything that I get in before I go to sleep tonight will go out by the time...
By 3 p.m.
By 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if I can get anything in the morning too, I just try to get it all out as fast as I can. So, anyways, we just had a long weekend. People had to wait on their books, which I really didn't have any control over. But get them in tonight, and I'll make sure they're out the door tomorrow.
Joyce, oh, you're welcome, Tish. Joyce got her book, and Fly Mommy, you took a picture of the book. Did you see her picture?
Yeah. So
I gotta check it out.
I'd really like it if you would take a picture with yourself in the book. And just in the comments, just type hashtag breaking OWCP. So it's hashtag breaking OWCP. And that way I'll easily be able to find your picture because I can just go search that hashtag. But it's a lot of fun. I really appreciate everybody that's gotten it so far, and let's keep it going and get it in everybody's hands. And for those of you that are union presidents, Tish. And others, some union presidents have bought these in bulk so they can hand them out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to go. As all of you know that are in unions and union presidents, your people don't have nearly enough information on this in spite of your best efforts. And in spite of many of you inviting us to teach, it's still not enough. And so the things that I teach and so much more are in this book. So if you want, get it for everybody. And like I said, it's free shipping.
Okay. Tammy Newman said, oh my God, Chris shaved. Look beautiful, Gini. Thank you.
Hi, Tammy.
Oh, Tish says she's ordering tonight.
All right.
Fly Mommy said she will take her picture.
Thank you.
And Raymond said, got my copy last week, Wednesday. Thanks. So,
all right, good.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know, and scrolling through here, it's really, really easy and simple. Like, no joke. Like, a 6th grader can understand if they're in the federal world, word for word. It's not fancy words. It's not big words. It's
and it's not that you don't understand big words. It's that OWCP is already freaking complicated. And it took me a long time to learn it, years. And I don't want you to have to take years to learn it. Instead, I put it in this book in a way that anybody can understand.
Yeah. Those of you that got it, you said you just got it. Darlene, you just said you got yours yesterday. Go ahead and just take a copy and hashtag breaking OWCP.
She meant take a picture. Take a picture.
What did I say?
Take a copy.
Take a copy, take a picture, and put it on the Breaking OWCP page. So,
yeah, moving on. Thank you, though, for everyone that's got it and for everyone's coming to get it.
Okay.
All right.
So, on Sunday, we did our Zoom meeting. And those of you that had said you are interested in finding an OWCP doctor to join our franchise group, they were on. We had about 15 people, but what semi-disappointed me was there's about 100 of you that said you wanted it on Monday because it was a holiday, but we know that you were barbecuing and having a few brewskis.
Yeah.
And so not everybody was able to get on. So I wanted to go over this. This is one of the things that we talked about if you wanted to talk to your doctor. Now, it could be, a lot of people were asking, a psychiatrist.
Yeah, sure.
Orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah.
Chiropractor with a medical doctor.
Yeah.
So.
But any chiropractor can go and hire a medical doctor or contract with one. They don't have to have one yet, but they'll definitely have to have one eventually.
So, those of you that are interested in talking to your doctor, email me, Gini@federalinjurycenters.com. we will send you a little flyer and you go ahead and give it to the doctor. Now, once you give it to your doctor, let's just say it's Dr. Helms. Text me, email me, message me, and tell me, hey, Gini, I just took this flyer to Dr. Helms.
In whatever city and state.
Yeah, whatever city and state. So that way, when we're going to issue the commission, we know exactly who to give it to. Just in case there's two of you giving it, it's first come, first serve.
And that's right. She did say commission. For those of you that were on, you heard this already. If you haven't, I'm telling you now. This is separate and apart. It's not like you're becoming a patient at a doctor's office. I would never pay a commission for that, ever. What I'm looking for is to recruit doctors to be in the franchise, the Federal Injury Centers franchise, so that the federal workforce has more doctors in the areas of the country where there's not any, which is almost everywhere. And where better to look than your doctors, who may be doing a terrible job and just need to be trained, or maybe haven't really thought of it yet and should. And so we're able to pay 10% of their upfront franchise fee to whomever makes a referral that signs up with the franchise. And I'd be really excited to write that check personally.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, I'll be writing that check personally.
To begin with.
Yeah.
So again, if those of you that are interested in finding a OWCP doctor that wants to join our Federal Injury Centers franchise, and you want to make a little commission, and you want to give them the information, email me, and in the subject put flyer, and I'll go ahead and attach the flyer and email it out to you. I know, Linda, you said you want to go in the morning, so if you email me at my email, I'll go ahead and send you a flyer tonight. Just print it out and give it to them. Let me know the name of the doctor in the email, and we'll make sure we get our franchise group on that doctor.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So tonight, our topics are going to be CA16s, what it is. Today we had somebody messaged me, and I had to actually go into the tweet. Twitter. Oh my God. Yeah, in the Twitter, and find the law where Chris said about the CA16, because her supervisor told her, because she got into an accident yesterday, she broke her ankle, stating that they don't know what a CA16 was, and forget about it. You don't need that. You only need the CA1 and the CA17. So tonight we're going to go over the CA16, CA17, and the CA7 after your claim's been accepted, how you file the CA17. And as you see, it says how to protect your job and your money.
But one thing that's interesting, I also got a call yesterday from one of the doctors I trained. And this guy's a warrior. I mean, anybody could go to him and get their claim accepted. But even he was still confused, and he wanted to know about the 16. And somebody had reported their injury the same day that it happened. And by day 8, still had not gotten a CA16. And their supervisor said, well, 7 days passed, you don't get one. And I said, well, that's not what the rules say. The law, the Code of Federal Regulations says that the supervisor has 4 hours to give it to you from the reported injury time. And so you reported on time. You're still waiting. They still owe it to you. You reported within 7 days, so you're good. We're going to talk about that here.
Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about is the CA16, what a CA16 is, and how to obtain it. I don't know if you guys could see all this, so he's going to go over all that.
Yeah, so look, I put this on here. There is no chance that you can read this. Even I have great eyesight, and I'm close to it, and some of it's a little cloudy. But I wanted to have it here because I found a CA16. And your supervisors say they can't find them. They don't know what they are. They're not on the OWCP forms site anymore. They've been gone for a couple of years. And so if your management or HR doesn't have one, you don't have a shot at getting one. But I'm real good with Google, and I found it. And so I just want you to know, this form does exist. It's called Authorization for Examination and or Treatment. It's a form CA16. So it's important. I may come out of the screen, but I want you to be able to see this. The 16 pays all your medical bills for 60 days after your date of injury. That's really important. It's not just medical, though. It's therapy, it's MRIs, it's emergency surgery, it's pharmacy, it's bracing. A CA16 can pay all of your medical bills, all of your health-related bills related to your work injury for the first 60 days. Well, that's so important, and I talk in depth about this in the book. But I don't want people making health decisions based on finance. And that's what happens if you don't get a CA16, because it pays your bills, and your claim's not accepted yet. You don't even have a claim number yet, but it's paying your bills. And so you need that, because otherwise doctors they don't know what a 16 is, okay? Even if you had it, they don't understand it. What they want is for you to use your health insurance and pay co-pays and deductibles. And copays and deductibles are not free. Even the best health insurances, have expensive out-of-pockets. And so if you start having to pay out of pocket, you're making decisions on your health based on money, and that's not fair. So I talk about that a lot in the book, and I go into great detail about the 16, but here I'm going to tell you, if you have that, you can make health decisions based on the fact that you need health care. So get a CA16, and it pays your bills in 60 days. You can only get one if it's a CA1 claim. A CA1 claim is something that happens in a single shift. Okay, you break a bone, you get a dog bite, you lift something and feel a strain in your back, or you step out of your LLB and you sprain your ankle. That happened in a single shift. That's a CA1 claim. If you have a CA2 that happens in 2 or more shifts, you can't have a CA16. That's just by rule. But it is available for a CA1. And as I was talking about earlier, you have to report your injury within 7 days of the incident. So if you get hurt today, you have 1 week to report. As long as you report within 7 days, you get your CA16. But those of you that know us and that have heard us teach, and you'll see this in the book, adamantly, I tell you, the soonest possible time is now. That's when you should report. And as long as you report now, you're eligible for a CA16. And the supervisor has 4 hours from the reported injury to give it to you. 4 hours from the reported injury is word for word from the Code of Federal Regulations. And I have that CFR in the book as well, because you'll want that. Your supervisor's going to say, I don't have to give that to you. And you're going to say, well, you have 4 hours. Then they're going to say, well, where'd you get that? And you can open the book and say, right here, it's in the Code of Federal Regulations. You can even Google it. That's where it's at. So they have 4 hours to give it to you, as long as you file your CA1 claim or report it within 7 days. And you will all report immediately. So that's the CA16.
Christina, you said, Lanfer, you said you need help. So just go ahead and message me in the Wednesday night OWCP Chats Messenger, and we'll go ahead and help you from there.
Yeah. Is that the only question?
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on to a CA17. Again, there's no chance you can read this, but I want to show you. There's this line right here. If you see that, this part of the line is side A, and this part is side B. Side A is filled out by the supervisor. Side B by your physician. Which comes first? A or B? That's right. A, right?
Yes.
That means the supervisor has to do this first. The duty status report is used by your doctor to give you work restrictions if you need them. That's for your protection, for your safety. If you're injured doing something, they want to make sure you don't keep doing the thing that got you hurt or that will get you hurt worse. It's also used to take you off of work, and then they also use it to send you back to work or reduce restrictions. So the doctor needs this. They have no other way to report your restrictions to your supervisor than a CA17. And it protects your job, because when you have this signed by your medical doctor, the supervisor's got to make decision. Either A, I'm going to follow the restrictions, or B, I'm going to send you home and you're going to get paid. Okay, but they have to follow the restrictions. But it must originate with your supervisor or your agency. That's why side A is supervisor. So if they won't give it to you, what are you supposed to do? Well, I talk about this in the book. You got to get one yourself, right? And you got to write on there the truth that they refuse to give it to you, and then still have your doctor fill out side B. They have to write restrictions for you if there are restrictions needed. But it originates with the agency. And this bottom one, it says, a signed copy by the MD is returned to the supervisor. Notice I didn't say signed by a nurse practitioner, a PA, or a chiropractor. It's got to be signed by your physician, your medical doctor. If it's signed by a nurse practitioner, it's invalid. Or a PA, just like your narrative reports, it's invalid. So you got to make sure it's signed by the MD. But it's really important that you get one of these, and so many people don't get them. Their doctor just fills out like an off-work slip, and that's not good enough. And so you got to have a CA17 to protect your job when you're off of work.
Yeah. Steve Baker, you said you needed some help. Same thing. After the live, go to the Wednesday night OWCP Chats Messenger and message us, and we'll go ahead and help you from there.
And that goes for anybody. If you need help, we're always available to help you, and we've got a team of people to help us, so just send us a message on Facebook, and we'll definitely get to you and help you out.
Rajinder, you asked how you can buy the book. I just posted and I pinned the comment, so you go to breakingowcp.com.
Scroll back to it real fast,
And,
the up button. A little more. A little more. There you go.
So you go to this website, and you can go ahead and get it. So if you're going to put in an order tonight, the next day we always get it out by 3 o'clock, so you can get it from there.
Thanks for asking. All right, so we're on the CA-17. Any questions on the CA-17 or the 16? Some people are jumping on a little late.
Alicia, you said, well, they sent me home and they challenged the pay.
Yeah, so they challenge your COP is what I'm guessing. And they do that. So box 35 or 36 on the CA1 asks the supervisor if they intend to controvert your pay. And if you get copies of everything, like I tell you to in the book, then you know they're going to do that and you can do something about it. And you can get help from your union on that as well. And your union can be very helpful on that, usually.
Anybody else with a CA-17 question?
That's okay. Keep it moving.
All right.
All right, so this one's way harder to see. There's no chance, but I put it on here to emphasize the point. This is a CA7, okay? The CA7 is called a claim for compensation. You see it right up here. And this is how you get paid once continuation of pay runs out and your claim is accepted.
Make sure you guys understand that, because a lot of you wind up calling us and you're submitting your CA7s before your claim is accepted. So don't do that. You could fill it out and get it all ready, but don't submit it because DOL will deny it. Yeah,
and I definitely recommend that you start filling them out immediately when you're going to be on LWOP, leave without pay, because your LWOP status is what DOL is going to use to pay you. So all the hours you're out on LWOP are the hours you'll get paid for your work injury. But you have to fill this whole thing out, and look how much it is. And you know, this side, this is page 1. Okay, that's for you to fill out, and it's a lot. I mean, look at all this nonsense you have to fill out. But then you have to give it to the supervisor, and they have even more stuff to fill out than you do. Who thinks they're going to do this right? I mean, who doesn't think there's going to be at least one mistake on here? So I showed you all of this to say to you, you've got to get copies of the whole thing, and you've got to review it yourself. I mean, it's asking questions about how much you get paid, when your work days are, your additional pay, if you have any. Like, gosh, if they get this wrong, then your pay is going to be wrong when you are on LWOP and your claim's accepted. So you've got to make sure that you're doing this right. And up here, you can't see it well, but it says leave without pay in box A. And so that's what we're talking about here. But you got to have this filled out perfectly. And then there's another thing that's going to go with this, and we're going to talk about what happens if you don't fill it out perfectly.
Right. Alicia said the union refused to help her.
Well, let us help. Just, get in touch with us, and we will help you. We know how to fill these out, and we'll make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
All right. Kim, hi guys. 16 more days. Yes, 16 more days.
Hey, Kim.
Pamela says, what about periodic roll?
Well, yeah, you're talking about the periodic roll is like sometimes. Anyways, anytime I can explain it, but I'm going to sound like a bumbling idiot. Okay, I like to explain it to everyone else so it's simple. It's simple by saying when you're out of work, off the clock, you fill this out. Regardless of your status, if you're out of work, off the clock, you fill this out. Off the clock, okay? The surest way to get paid, though, is what?
Clock in.
Be on the clock, which is why that CA-17 is so important, because your CA-17 is like, it gets you back to work, and then if your supervisor doesn't have anything for you, they send you home, and then you're on LWOP, and you get paid.
All right, so I don't know, did you tell them about what to do if the supervisor refused to fill out the CA-17?
Yeah. Yeah, I said in a Sharpie, just write the truth. The supervisor refused to fill it out.
Yeah.
Just
right
like somewhere in here,
A.
there's like this box here. Or
right there.
Anywhere on there, just with a black Sharpie, supervisor refused to fill this out. And it's not that we're trying to get the supervisor in trouble, but someone's going to ask us why the heck we have an incomplete form. Why did we do that? And it's because we had to. The doctor needed to fill out side B, and the supervisor refused to do side A.
All right, so Sally, Prakash, you said my supervisor filled out only weight carding time limit 35 to 70 pounds.
If that is correct, then good. If not, you got to sit with your supervisor and probably your union and make sure that the correct information is on there. And he's talking about the 17.
Okay. Sally said, once they put you on the 28-day pay, do you still have to fill out a CA-7 every 2 weeks?
Yeah, and in fact, I read a letter from a claims examiner that said they want you to turn them in every 2 weeks, even though I think they're only paying you once a month. But a letter from a claims examiner specifically told someone to fill them out every 2 weeks, and so that's why I teach that.
Yes.
Which is the benefit of you showing me your letters from claims examiners, because I can teach them to everybody.
Yep. Prakash says, my doctor says medically unable to work.
Yeah, so that means temporary disability, I assume. Permanent disability means you can never work. But you're medically unable to work now. It doesn't mean that won't change. It just means that you are currently disabled from work and out of work. You're just off work.
Hey, Mr. Kelly, how are you?
Hi, good evening, Mr. Kelly.
So you guys know Mr. Kelly is the national president for AFGE up in DC. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. And we still have to get with you, Mr. Kelly.
So we're going to answer a bunch of questions more, but go to the next slide. It's in yellow. It's actually orange, like a caution. Remember a minute ago when I said, you can fill this out perfectly, but then you still might not get paid. And if you don't fill it out perfectly, then forget about it. It's all over. But let's say you do fill it out perfectly. You've got an accepted claim, and you don't get paid. It's demoralizing. Well, this is why it's not getting paid. And this is all in the book. But you have to attach all 4 of these things that I have in white. Okay, we talked about your CA-17. None of these are optional. When you turn in a CA-7 every 2 weeks, you need this stuff. Because if you have any of this missing, and the claims examiner is in a especially good or bad mood, whatever it is for them, they deny you. And so you need your CA-17 signed by your doctor that took you off of work, if you're off of work, because of a 17. If you're off of work because you went to a doctor, to physical therapy appointments, or MRI appointment, or because you had surgery, anything like that, you need a printout of those appointments, preferably signed by the doctor or the therapist. Then there's a form called a CA-20. Now, all of these forms, by the way, you can find at federalinjurycenters.com. We have them there just to make it easy for you, because a lot of times you go to the OWCP forms page, and you click it, and it won't print. You can't even pull it up on the screen, and that's maddening to me. So they always work on our page, and we update them as they need to be. But a CA-20 signed by the doctor, so they're already doing a 17, so have them do a 20 as well. And then a disability narrative from the MD. This is a short narrative explaining why you're out of work, or why you are at this point disabled from work. It's not enough that they've taken you off of work, and it's not enough they've given you a CA-20 explaining your status. They want a narrative specifically saying why you're off of work. And so if you miss any of these 4 things, you are very likely going to not get paid. When you're waiting on a paycheck to come in the mail, instead, you're going to get a denial letter. This is maybe the most important thing that I've told you outside the CA-16, because too many people get denied their pay. And in the beginning, when I was training doctors, they were all calling me, and we were trying to figure out, because we know the rules, and we even had this slideshow that was given to managers on how to make sure people get paid, and we were following it, but they were still denying it. And so we started reading these denial letters and finding out that that's missing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so don't let them avoid writing these disability narratives. They're just critically important. So you got to have all 4 of these things. And I go into detail on this in the book. But if you don't have the book yet, make notes of this now. Because if you're filling out a CA-7 right now and you're turning it in without this stuff, you're not going to get paid. And you can still appeal it and get paid later, but how long do you want to wait for your money?
Yeah. Carlos wants to know, what is a CA-20?
It's what's the name of that form? CA-20 is, it's like a medical narrative. And go to federalinjurycenters.com and look that up. But it's right on there in our forms. I put the CA-20 plus the name of it. But it is a form that only a doctor can fill out and sign. And it basically just gives a status update on where you're at in your case.
So don't forget, these are the 4 forms or 4 pieces of paper that you need to attach to a CA-7 once your claim gets accepted. Not before. Don't submit this before. They're going to send it back.
Yeah, your claim has to be accepted. People say all the time, I turn this stuff in, I didn't get paid. And my first question always is your claim accepted? The
CA-20 is attending physician's report.
Physician, yeah.
Jennifer got it.
Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer is with Federal Injury Centers as well, and thank you for being here and bailing me out. What were we just saying, though?
The 4 forms that have to be attached, not before.
Oh, yeah. So the first question I ask is your claim accepted? If not, that's it. That's why you're not getting paid. But the second question I ask is, okay, so you're out of work. What's your diagnosis?
Yeah.
Because if your diagnosis was, say, a sprain, and you've been out of work for 6 months, they're not going to pay you to be out of work. And so your diagnosis, maybe you're hurt worse than just a sprain, but your doctor hasn't fixed it and hasn't done a diagnosis expansion yet. So that could be a problem too. But always, if you don't have this stuff, you're not getting paid.
All right, we're going to do some questions. Okay, so Kim Davis says, question, the post office...
Oh, wait, go to the next slide.
Why? Oh, boy. Oh, brother. I love questions. Questions are my favorite. Yeah. Questions. Tell them I asked the questions around. Oh, my gosh. That's cute.
All right, what are your questions?
Here we go. Kim said, question, with the post office, there's a 3-day wait for COP.
That's right.
My understanding is it's a 3-day calendar day, not business days.
Yeah, I think it's business days. I have to go back and relook at that. But I think it's business days because later on you can come back and request those to be paid back. But I can double check that and get back with everyone. But for the post office, you do have a 3-day waiting period before COP starts.
And the supervisor, she said, my supervisor charged me 3 days of sick leave, even though one of those days were a Sunday. He's not responding, so I guess I have to grieve it.
Yeah, definitely. And then you're going to have to go and do leave buyback, which that's not fair.
Fly Mommy said, Human Resources OWCP Claim Director filled out the section for the supervisor for me.
That's okay. HR, injury comp, supervisor, the top, postmasters, whoever, they can all fill these things out.
Kim said, by the way, finally got my leave buyback 2+ years later. Awesome, Kim.
How about that? See, this works. Good.
It works. You
But
follow
look,
the rules we tell you, it works.
Kim's been plugging at this for a long time.
For like 3 years now.
Since before we knew her, so.
Yeah.
But that's an example. Kim never gave up. And I always say this, never give up. It's not over until you throw your hands up and say it's over. Unless you miss deadlines. Don't do that either.
Carlos Vera. Carlos, I love your profile picture. I was telling Chris, you look like Bane from Batman with the thing over his face.
I think maybe that was your point. Yeah.
He said, just ordered 2 books, one for him and one for his president. That's awesome.
Oh, that's good. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And, like everyone else, thank you. But I think everyone should go ahead and buy one for someone else. Not that I'm trying to get you to spend more money. I'm trying to get this information out. And I don't have the reach to reach everyone. And you can reach people that haven't seen us yet. And, it's not that much more to buy 2 books. I purposely priced it at half of the highest priced OWCP book out there. And now there are only 3 books. Mine's the 3rd one. So it's priced way cheaper than everyone else on purpose. I want everyone to easily get it. And free shipping again.
So Pamela said, I haven't filled out a CA7 since I was put on periodic roll.
Well, you need to fill out a CA7 for every day that's off. And what I didn't put here is a CA7A, a time analysis form, because it says on the CA7, if your time is intermittent, fill out a 7A. In other words, let's say you're off Monday and Wednesday, but you're at work Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then your time off was intermittent for that week. And so you have to fill that out too. But you got to fill it out for every day that you're off the clock, out of work because of your injury.
Andrew, hey Jeannie, Chris, from everyone at the Clearwater office, Dr. Rochewell, Andrew. Hey guys.
Hi.
I'll be in the office tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Carlos said, I filed my CA7 online, but got a letter saying they needed the narrative from them.
Yeah.
The MD and the CA7A, but nothing on the CA20.
Yeah, good luck finding a CA7A. Oh, wait. Yeah, the 7A. I was thinking of the 20A. There used to be a CA20A, and it's still in the rules.
Oh.
The CA20 is there because there used to be a 20A in the rules, and we're not leaving any stones unturned, so use the CA20.
Fly Mommy wants to know, can she file a grievance to get it back?
Yeah, I think you should file grievances. And those of you that think that I'm wrong about that, that's fine. Don't file a grievance. But I think you all should. I wish I could file grievances right now. I'd get a stack of them and start filing them.
So Kevin Hall said it's your 3 work days for COP.
Okay, and I thought it was work days too, but I'm still, now I've got, calendar days, 3 work days. I'm going to go ahead and just double check it tomorrow with my expert consultant, and I'll get back with you.
Juanita, you said, got into an accident last Wednesday. Not my fault. A van backed into me. Went to the ER on Wednesday night. I have an appointment to see an orthopedic doctor tomorrow. What paperwork do I need to bring to the doctor?
Hold that thought.
Please talk amongst yourself. He's dealing with Gizmo.
So my dog is on the couch and he wants to dig a hole in the couch. So obviously I can't let that happen. Would you ask that question again?
So Juanita got into an accident last Wednesday. It wasn't her fault. Somebody backed into her.
Okay.
She went to the ER on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
I have an appointment to see the orthopedic doctor tomorrow. What paperwork do I need to bring to the doctor?
Okay, great. And I'm going to say this often because it's important that you know. This is in the book. You want to take your CA1, or in your case, it's a CA1. So take the CA1 that you filled out with your supervisor, copies of everything, including the second page that the supervisor filled out. Let the doctor have that. It's a good idea if you write a personal statement of what happened for yourself, because the doctor, if they're going to do a good job, they're going to interview you and ask you what happened. And so make sure you've got your thoughts in order. And you want to make sure that that statement, that your CA1, in the front of the box 13 and 14 in those boxes, match up with what you say to the doctor, and the doctor's understanding of what happened matches your statements. That's all really important, but that's what I would take. You're going to need to take a CA17 from your supervisor because your doctor is going to likely need to write some restrictions. Hopefully not. Maybe you don't need that, but if so, take the 17. And I hope you got a CA16.
Yeah, Juanita, just in case, and this is just, I'm putting it out there. A lot of the times when you guys go to the orthopedic first before finding a regular DOL doctor, not that he's not, your claim may get denied if he doesn't know what to do and what to say and what to write. So keep that in mind. We're just forewarning you, and if you have any issues with that, just call us.
Shoot, I would call the orthopedic doctor in advance and just ask straight up, will you write a good narrative for me? Is this something that you're willing to do? And if it gets denied, are you going to go again on appeal? Hey,
if he wants to be a part of Federal Injury Centers, let him know. I could email you the flyer and...
yeah, but he'll be required to do these things.
Yeah.
Anybody that won't can't work in Federal Injury Centers.
All right, Kim.
So, but hold on. CA1, CA16, CA17. That's what you take.
Kim Davis said 45 days is calendar, so COP should be the same since it's a part of the 45 days, trying to find documentation.
Well, the 45 days of COP is calendar days. And you have 3 days where you're not getting paid COP, your first 3 days. But still, I'm going to double check it.
Yeah. Rajinder said, I called in sick one day due to my work-related injury. How will I get paid for that day? Do I have to use my own sick and leave, or will they pay me?
Okay, you called in sick due to a work injury. If your claim's accepted, you fill out a CA7, okay, and you get paid that way. You can do leave buyback and get that time back if your claim's accepted. If it's not accepted, you need to get your claim accepted and then start filling out a CA7. Until then, you have your sick and annual leave, and you may want to fill out Family Medical Leave Act paperwork to make sure you're protecting your job while you're off.
FMLA.
You don't need that when you have a 17 and your claim's accepted, but when it's not, some supervisors are jerks, and they want to give you a hard time, harass you about being off. And FMLA is something that will protect you if you're off of work because of a work injury.
Carlos said, can I ask for an extension on the time frame I was given by OWCP so I can get the CA7A and CA20 ready?
Let's see what time frame you're talking about, because there's so many of them. Typically, time frames are hard and fast, and they don't change them. But if you can send us a message with more information, I can answer that more thoroughly.
Yeah.
But generally, time frames are like the one thing you can't miss. I'm just saying, you miss a time frame, you're in trouble.
Juanita, they take federal workers' comp. That's awesome then. See the ortho.
Good.
Kevin Hall, you said make sure you get copies of your CA1 or any forms.
That's right.
Which he's absolutely right. He said,
you have a right to that by law.
Yeah, he said, I had a supervisor who sent Department of Labor a separate CA1 and blamed me. Thank goodness I had the original copy. Sneaky, shady characters in a manager.
Yeah, there's a part in the book that says that if a supervisor does things like that, they can be fined or imprisoned. I think you'll all find that chapter of the book enlightening.
Jennifer, you said they say that an ortho is at the higher level and will not accept medical opinion from an MD.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The problem is if you start out and you say your orthopedic surgeon is your treating physician, then they won't let you, without a fight, switch to like a general practitioner. But you can go to a general practitioner and get your claim accepted. All the chiropractors that we work with also use general practitioners. None of them use specialists. And they are just pros at getting claims accepted. So that's definitely not the case.
All right. Kevin Hall, you can get the book. right there. BreakingOWCP.com, Kevin. If you order it tonight, we'll go ahead and ship it out by 3 p.m. tomorrow. So you should be getting it by no later than maybe Monday.
But if it takes longer and you're in the post office, you know this already. If you're not, take it easy, because I've seen pictures of these mail rooms. It's unbelievable. It's like everyone during the lockdown just decided to go internet shopping crazy.
Well, I mean, I've been sharing
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I've been sharing the pictures that you guys are sharing. So I want people like me, people like my family that don't have a clue about what USPS goes through, especially during these times, to understand. Don't kill the postman.
Yeah, take it easy.
Because you didn't get your package. It's piled up in the mail room and the mail handlers. I can only imagine what you mail handlers must be going through.
And by the way, she uses the word kill. We do not advocate for violence at all. We really mean just take it easy. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Oh, thank you, Teresa. She said, love your makeup. I didn't think anyone could see it from this far.
You and everybody else.
He gets jealous.
I do not get jealous.
Just joking.
Okay, hold on. I do not get jealous. I don't have a jealous bone in my body.
He gets jealous because my makeup looks better than his makeup.
See, people don't know. She's kidding. I don't get jealous.
No, he doesn't at all. I love that. Fly Mommy said, do we have OWCP doctors in Caddy, Texas? Where's that?
Katy is near Houston, and you have to go into Houston to find anybody that I know. I trained one person in Houston.
Thank you. She's still telling me. She's saying, you look great. All right. Fly Mommy said, Chris, I'm not happy with my doctor. He's an orthopedic, and my heel at work, he told me he was not a foot specialist, but he sent me to physical therapy. Some days it helps, but most days it made it worse. By me telling my doctor this, I assumed he told my physical therapist, and she didn't. She said she didn't want me to come back. Aw. However, I asked him to send me to a foot specialist, and he sent me to another orthopedic and suggested that I stop taking the meds that my doctor gave me, and I don't agree because I don't take them daily, but I will if I'm in unbearable pain. Then he suggested I go to physical therapy. My thing is, was he supposed to be doing an x-ray on my foot?
Let me just go ahead and stop.
Hold on.
No, it doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Listen, the deal is I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not a licensed healthcare practitioner. I'm a guy who knows everything about OWCP. I'm in no position to have an opinion on your doctors and therapists' decisions. I'm not trying to pass the buck. I just don't have one to pass. So I can't intelligently answer that. I'd like to, and it makes me nuts that sometimes I can't tell doctors what to do, but I can't even tell them where to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so, again, if you want to buy the book, go to breakingowcp.com. It's only $14.95, no shipping. If you put your order in tonight, we'll go ahead and ship it out by 3. We always ship it out by 3 the next day. What else? Let me go back up. Oh, because those of you that didn't, no.
Right there.
There, this one. So those of you that didn't get on our Zoom meeting Sunday and you wanted to find a doctor to help you with your OWCP issues and become a Federal Injury Center's doctor as a part of the franchise, email me down here, Jeannie@federalinjurycenters.com, and in the subject put flyer, and then go ahead and give the flyer to your doctor. I'll have Chris touch base on how it all works so you guys don't get too scared that, even if you made a commission, and then once you give it to your doctor, email me back. Let me know the name of the doctor, first and last name, what kind of doctor he is, and what city and state you gave him. Just so if the doctor does become a part of Federal Injury Center's franchise, you get the commission.
And the commission is 10% of the franchise fee.
I know, but tell them what we talked about.
Yeah, well, this
Sunday.
flyer actually makes it easier. We were talking Monday about how you approach your doctor and what to say to them. And there's a lot of questions, so many that I realized I need to make it easier because I shouldn't expect that you speak the language the way I do. So I made a short one-page flyer that if you give it to the doctor and the doctor can read, they can decide whether or not they want to call. But what you're telling them is, this group is a franchise that teaches doctors how to help federal injured workers with their injury claims, and specifically how to get claims accepted. And there's a lot of details on the flyer that are going to make perfect sense to the doctor. And sadly, they are going to care about money, so I put the money stuff in there. Not in great detail because I can't guarantee any amount of money. I can't guarantee how much money doctors are going to make or how many patients they'll get. What I can guarantee is, the things that the OWCP system does provide to doctors, and that's on the flyer.
So again, if those of you that want to make extra up to $4,500 commission, go ahead and email me. In the subject, put flyer, tell me the name of your doctor, what specialty he is. So it could be an orthopedic specialist, psychiatrist, physical therapy group, right?
Mm-hmm. A general practitioner.
Yeah.
And a chiropractor.
And chiropractor, as long as the chiro has an MD.
No, the chiropractor can hire an MD later.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
They'll have to eventually have an MD.
Shirley, you said you want one. What is it that you want? A flyer or a book?
Because the flyer, email here.
This
and
is
the
for
book,
the flyer to become a franchise.
And the book, go to breakingowcp.com.
Barbara said, I received my book yesterday. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Those of you that know Jennifer, she put her number in the comments below. So if you guys need help and can't get in touch with me, you can also call Jennifer. Liz Rosa said, I have returned 8 months ago to work from an on-the-job injury. Management stated I have 6 months to return to full duty. How does the MMI report work, and what are the disadvantages of removing restrictions if I'm not fully ready?
Well, okay, restrictions are the decision of a doctor, not of management, not of you, and certainly not of me. Your doctor keeps restrictions on as long as medically they should be, and they may even be permanent restrictions. Management can't force you back. When your claim's accepted and your doctor's got you off of work or got you on with restrictions, they can't make you come back. Telling you have 60 days doesn't remove your restrictions, okay? So work with your doctor and your union and make sure that you're protected because the doctor's not just going to say, okay, fine, your knee still hurt, but no restrictions, good luck to you. They're not going to do that. There's just no way they're going to do it. So management can't dictate that. They can't dictate restrictions to a doctor. They don't have a medical license.
All right.
And what was the MMI question?
How does the MMI report work, and what are the disadvantages of removing restrictions if I'm not fully ready?
Well, okay, disadvantages of removing restrictions is you could get hurt and other things, but, or you could be substandard at your job and your supervisor could write you up. I mean, I don't know I could probably think of other things, but you want to be at full capacity or at least at a job with restrictions that put you with your restrictions at full capacity. MMI is another medical decision. Your doctor determines whether or not you're at maximum medical improvement. I go in great detail about schedule awards, MMI, and impairment ratings in the book because you all want to know so much about it. But that's a medical decision as well. And once you're at MMI, you can still get treatment. But it's the doctor saying that, this is as good as you're going to get. And then you make decisions on, what to do next from there.
Rajinder said, I'm still under treatment and my case has been accepted already. So my sick day, I have to fill out a CA7 separately for that day. And how can I fill out FMLA for that day?
Well, yeah, you fill out a CA7 for that day and you get an FMLA document and you have that filled out by your doctor stating that you're out of work that day. But if your claim's accepted and the doctor took you off of work for a day, you probably don't even need FMLA. But it won't hurt. You have 120 FMLA days a year, so use one of them. It just, one more layer of protection so your supervisor doesn't jack with you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Shelly Johnson, you said, how do I get a one-on-one consultation with you? Go ahead and give me a call at 877-787 and
OWCP 6927.
OWCP.
There's 4 more digits on the end of that.
Sorry, I'm having vertigo and it's not that great of a day today.
Call 877-787-6927. You'll talk to one of us or Jennifer. If you're talking to Jennifer, she has an option of sending you an invite by email so that you can speak face to face.
About that.
So
yeah. So
right.
if you're talking about for the franchise, go ahead and call the 877 number. Tell me you're calling about the franchise. If I don't answer, we're going to call you back for sure.
Yeah, we'll have, and whatever everybody's watching, any issues you have, call us. We're happy to help.
Shirley, what you need to do is I need you to email me first so I know what email to send it to you. And in the subject put flyer, so then I send it back to you.
Yeah.
Jim Thompson says, I broke my wrist 10 years ago, got a settlement, paid back OW. Am I entitled to a schedule award?
If your claim was accepted, you are entitled to a schedule award.
That's the easiest answer. Rajinder said, thank you, Chris and Jeannie.
You're welcome.
Sasshole says, I love the name. It's so cute. It took me that my restrictions were not okay and made me get a new note from my doctor. The only restriction I had was no inmate contact, and work told me that was an unacceptable return to work release, and I'm now on LWOP.
So if your doctor writes a restriction that management doesn't like or feels like they can't adhere to, they're likely going to send you home. And if they send you home, you're definitely going to get paid the whole time you're home, because one of your reasons that you're going to add to the 4 things that I said on the CA7 is a statement that management won't let me work. And your doctor in the disability narrative is also going to say, we made our best efforts to send you to work, but management sent them home. And you'll get paid. It's a shame, because I know you probably want to go back to work. But if they won't let you, you still do what it takes so you can get paid. Get better and get back to work.
Kate said, if a CA16 was filled out, do you still need to file a CA20 as well?
Yeah. Well, the CA20 is to attach to your CA7 forms later on when you're using LWOP after your claim's accepted. That's just a form that you attach to the CA7s to get paid. The 16 pays your medical bills. The CA7 pays basically your salary when you're out of work. And the CA20 is documentation to pay your salary.
Yeah. So, with that said...
And if that's confusing, get Breaking OWCP.
Yeah.
No kidding. I mean, that's the whole point. This is super confusing. And there's a page in there where I wrote out a scenario that there was a time frames page. Those of you that have gotten the book and read it, you know what I'm talking about. But I had I kind of had a good time saying, these are all the time frames, and look how freaking confusing this is. And then I broke it down and made it easier. But this is complicated. And even though I'm able to show you these slides and talk to you about a couple of subjects in detail, the 16, the 17, the CA7, there's so much more. Okay, there's even more that's not in this book, because this book is about getting your claim accepted. But there's a lot of other stuff about when your claim is accepted that may be in another volume. But it's complicated. So, we're not here doing this, even though it's on the screen. We're not here doing this so that you will buy a book. I hope you'll see that I wrote a book because you need it. And because we're here and we have to do this.
Yeah.
And so we're teaching you because you need it. If you didn't need it, you wouldn't be here watching anyways. And you know that there's so many people right now that you know that aren't here watching. And so this is what we want you to do. That was really timely, by the way, switching it to here. There's so many people that are not watching this. And we've been doing this for now, 3 years?
Yeah.
And like we said, 400,000 people or views last year. That's incredible. But it should have been, 2 million.
Yeah.
Because everyone needs the information. So we just really would appreciate if you would just share the content of this Wednesday night OWCP chats, and like and follow and share. Right now, today there was 5,618 people following it out of 2.8 million federal employees.
Get with the program.
And you can see, those of you that are on this, we're not wasting your time here. You don't have to come here and look at it, but at least when we're live, you get the information that's necessary. Same with the Twitter page at Fed Injury Center. It's not like you're going to go there every day and read stuff, because I don't post anything there I don't think I've posted there in a couple of months. But the stuff you need is there.
Yeah.
And if you have Wednesday night chats in combination with Twitter at Fed Injury Center, and you got a copy of the book, then, you've got so much more than anybody in history has ever had.
Scoot over.
Yeah, nobody, look, I'm tooting my horn. I don't toot horns, but whatever that is, okay, whatever.
Toot toot.
You guys didn't have this information. You just didn't have it. Look, I've been teaching it for the better part of 12 years now. And I started off in small local union groups teaching it, and graduated up to state conventions, and we have this massive following here thanks to you, and not very, I mean, it could be a lot more massive, but to me it's massive compared to a union meeting of 12 people. And I've been teaching all this time, and it's never enough. And the MBAs are out there teaching it, and, you know, the role carriers have their guy who's awesome, and I like him, and we're friends, and he's out there teaching it. And, you know, AFGE's got a guy, and he's teaching it, but there's 2.8 million of you. And nobody's ever put this content out here in an understandable way, the way I think I'm doing it now. More claims are getting accepted now, at least that we're associated with. We've got a massive claims acceptance rate. You know, 1 out of 13 of you has an accepted claim nationwide. But we're at 75%, and the other 25 just haven't been accepted yet. They're in process. And that's an incredible outcome. But that's because we have this information already. We already know this stuff. We train our doctors on more than this stuff. This is for you. You should see the stuff we have for the doctors. Aww. It's overwhelming. And so, you know, we're here doing this for you. And, you know, some weeks we take off because there's stuff going on. And there are some days, and she'll tell you, I get on here, and I'm like, oh, I just don't have it today. And then when, you know, she hits play or whatever, it's like, okay, we got to go.
Do it,
because you need it.
You need the information. Want to say thank you to Tish. She just ordered 3 books. That is the
Pass them out.
AFGE VA state president for the state of Florida, and we love her to death.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, Chris is her boyfriend. So
thanks for helping your folks out.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Kevin Hall said, you two are rock stars.
Thanks,
Thank
Kevin.
you for this and your service. Tish said, you guys are awesome. Bay Pines VA employees, thank you.
Well, we love you. We really do.
Juanita, you want to know, when are you guys coming to Delaware? We don't know, but here is what I told Chris what we could do for you guys. As union meetings are starting to slowly come back together and everything is reopening slowly, we will do a personal Zoom training for you.
Yeah.
We will do a personal Skype training for you, or we can, you know, whatever, because we know that there's not many people, but normally, or we could do a private Facebook group for you and your union or your friends that want to just grab some wine and popcorn and watch us and let us educate you individually.
But, yeah, and one thing this ridiculous shutdown, I mean, not ridiculous, we had to do what we had to do, but the shutdown, what it taught us is we have to figure it out. And, like, look at this TV screen here. If your union has a large TV screen, or multiple, but say one large TV screen, and you can attach one computer to your TV screen like I just did, and you can get Zoom on your internet, then I can give you a private training.
Yeah, we can.
And so your union meetings can still have us involved. And I think you should all go virtual as soon as possible because your unions need the input of its members, obviously. And I know all of you agree, including the presidents. But I know that you're all wanting to give input and get input, and my input's still here. And I'd be more than happy to be involved in that so that, you know, we're getting this information out. But in the meantime, come here, share this with your friends. We're here every Wednesday night, you know, minus occasional holidays or, you know, some tragedy that happens, you know, and then we'll let you know we're not going to be on. But do that. Get the book. Pass the book out to all of your union members. Pass the book out to everybody that you know that you work with. People need this stuff because if you have it, honestly, you don't need me to come and teach. We will teach for free anytime you ask us. All you've got to do is invite. And we never charge. Even when we're able to fly again, we don't charge any of our travel fees. We just show up. We're happy to do it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we've got these things. And, you know, the shutdown taught me how to adapt. And we adapted by, you know, trying to beef this thing up. Look, we've got slides. And writing a book.
The next and last more important thing is, don't forget, this Sunday, May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a slide on this?
Yeah, the last slide.
Oh. We see that's what, okay. We're going to have our spring Wednesday night OWCP National,
Convention.
Chats National OWCP Convention. Here's the time. Is it the 29th?
That's what, I don't know, it's Sunday. Let's double check.
Let's double check.
It's a Sunday.
It is the 31st,
Okay,
folks.
forget the 29th. It's 31st. Sunday is the 31st.
Forget that right there.
Sorry.
So Sunday, May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a live OWCP training as if we were at one of these national, one of these state conventions. So go ahead and tell them what we're going to be going over.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I would do if I was live in front of you. And all the times that I have been, I've done these things. But what's exciting for me now is when we were attending state conventions, you'd have 100 to 200 people there, which was incredible for me. There's nothing better than being able to interact with you live and in person, which is why we'll also have Zoom on so you can interact back with us during this meeting. But, you know, we'd have 100, 200 people. We're going to have thousands of people watching on this, and hopefully hundreds participating through Zoom. And I think it's going to be the biggest OWCP training that's ever existed, ever, in the history of mankind. And thanks to the internet, and thanks to, you know, Zoom, and honestly, thanks to, I can't believe I'm saying, but to the shutdown and causing us to adapt and, you know, to do something about it, because you didn't stop working, you didn't stop needing the information. So I'm going to talk to you about how to file your claims. That's so important because no matter how much I train, people are still saying, how do I do it? So we'll discuss that. Time frames for filing claims, because no matter how many times I tell you that you have 3 years, there's still people that believe their supervisors when they said they only had 3 days to report. So we're going to discuss that. Rules, laws, and regulations pertaining to all the stuff that I teach, because everything I teach, I back it up with law. Because when I back it up with law, you can take it and it backs you up when you're talking to management. How to protect your job. Okay, that's so important because, you know, you all feel threatened anyways when you file a work injury claim. If you can't get it accepted, your supervisors want to fire you. Okay, and we want to be able to protect your job. So there's several things we can do to help protect your job. Why claims get denied? That's important because you all think it's the claims examiner's fault, but I think it's the doctor's fault. So we're going to discuss that. And I work with doctors for a living, and that's not a popular position for me to take, but it's a fact. How to get paid when you're off of work, because it matters that you're getting paid, and how to combat management. And I don't like having to combat management because you have enough problems as it is, and I don't advocate for more problems with management. But they don't seem to have a problem with making problems with you, and so I tell you what to do about it. This and a lot more, I'm sure, will come up during this training, and it's not going to be recorded.
We're not recording it. We are not allowing anyone to share it as well because this is a one-time convention, just like when you go to your regular conventions. We will do it in spring as of this Sunday coming at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we'll do it in October. So you get 2 times and 2 chances to watch us while we do this live. I'm going to go ahead and post a flyer on our Wednesday night chats page.
And I'll use the right date.
Yeah, not the 29th, Sunday, May 31st. You're going to go to our Wednesday night chats page and we'll be on there at 1 p.m. We'll probably have the camera going about like 12:45.
Yeah, probably
and
early.
We'll go ahead and come on and give you 10 minutes after 1 and get started a little after 1.
Yeah, so everybody just settle in wherever you're going to be watching this with whatever food and beverage you want. Imagine you're actually in a convention where they have like muffins and water and tea and coffee. And that's, you know, and sodas.
Yeah.
You can have whatever you want because you're at home. We don't care.
Put us on your TV, hook us up, and you could watch it in big screen like if we were right there.
Yeah, and in the flyer we'll have a Zoom ID because I do want people to be able to ask me questions because that's how it would be in a meeting.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure we have Zoom going, and we'll be able to answer your questions on Facebook, and you'll also be able to ask your questions on Zoom. You'll raise your hand, and Gini will call on you.
Yeah. So my brother will be there too because I'll be doing the Wednesday night chats and he'll be behind the Zoom.
He's the tech guy.
He's a techie guy, so we'll be going back to back. But keep your questions till after Chris is done with his sentence.
And we'll remind
his
him then.
spiel. Yeah.
Everyone wants to raise their hand all the time, and I'll never get through it. But at appropriate times, we're going to stop and answer some questions.
Yeah, so again, we're looking forward to having you all. We have about close to 500 people that said they were going to be on. But then again, you guys, there was only 15 people out of this 62 to 100 that said you're going to be on Zoom. So watch for the flyer later tonight with the Wednesday night chats information and the Zoom info if you want to do Zoom. So that, again, that's Sunday, May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry for the West Coast folks.
Yeah.
But this is the time that we had the place that we could rent to do this. We are actually going to a little meeting room.
A hotel meeting room.
To do this.
And we're doing it like it's, you know, a live professional event. We're not cutting any corners.
Yeah.
So definitely tune in and check it out. Get the information. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yes.
Be sure you get the book at breakingowcp.com. I'm sure that I'll reference the book a few times because there's such good information in it. And so if you've got it, you'll sometimes be able to follow along. And, hopefully by the end of all this, you guys will have, you'll be like OWCP pros on steroids.
Yeah.
And that's the idea. I don't want you to need me to teach this. And so, I'm hoping that you'll get the information and have it so good that all that'll be left is the doctors that we're trying to supply to you. And you get enough doctors and you have enough knowledge and, we can break OWCP.
Yeah, and don't forget, as of June, those of you that are sharing, we're going to pick a share winner, see who you guys are sharing to and your audience. You can either get a free book, either a free Wednesday night OWCP Chats t-shirt or a Federal Injury Centers t-shirt. So that's going to be coming up in June. We're doing something fun for you guys. And other than that, so we have to be on Zoom, or can we watch on Facebook? You
both.
Can watch on either one.
You could do both at the same time.
Yeah, you could do both. Carlos, it doesn't matter. We're giving you both options in case some people don't have a social media. You can go on Zoom.
Yeah,
so let your friends know.
I'm going to have a computer over here to my right with Zoom turned on so that I can see folks and answer questions. And I'll be looking into a camera here doing Facebook Live. So it'll primarily be on Facebook. But I want to have Zoom because I want people to be able to ask questions. I think that's important. And it keeps me kind of in my normal rhythm. I'm used to being in front of live audiences where people are raising their hands.
Yeah, and it'll be louder. I'm gonna see if I can get a mic to put in front of the computer so we can actually hear you asking your questions on Zoom. But the ones that are on Facebook, I'll just read them out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun. We always make our trainings fun and exciting, and Chris gets the audience laughing. So again, it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's 9 a.m. in California, folks?
10.
3 hours.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in California. And
we'll be going till 3, and if
it
goes later, but at least till 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so we look forward to seeing all those hundreds and hundreds of people on from all these different states. Tell your friends, get prepared, get a paper, get a pen, and get ready to take notes. And we'll have this little screen showing the book as well, because there's going to be a lot of people on there that have not heard about the book.
Yeah, so let people know. All right.
Well, guys, we thank you for tuning in tonight to our Wednesday night OWCP Chats. I'm Jeannie, this is Chris, and we will see you guys on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right,
Bye.
Good night. Bye.